everyone, welcome back to my podcast. I am Annie and you are in the That Girl VibeZ podcast. As a journalism and psychology student in college, I am recording weekly podcasts talking about self-development and glow up and how I changed and became what I wanted, what I dreamed of. Today we have a really interesting topic as episode 3, how to get rid of bad habits and move on to our best life. Firstly, if you click this video, if you are listening to me right now, you have something that you want to change and you think it's not good for you. It's a bad habit. For example, it might be you are waking up late, or it might be bad addictions, for example. It might be alcohol, smoking, or something even worse. But you clicked this video because you want to change and you want to learn how to change. Like I said, it might be you don't want to get up late or wake up late anymore. You want to change that habit, for example. But you want something to change. For example, you want to change eating habits. Okay, first of all, I am not a psychologist yet. So please take my words as just recommends. And if you think that you have a real problem, please go and see a psychologist. As common belief, therapy is not something only sick people go. Therapy is a place where conscious people come to become the best version of themselves and healthiest version of themselves. First step is defining something as a bad habit is so important. It changes for everyone, of course. For example, you define bad habit as eating much, but some other person would define eating less is a bad habit. So first step, and maybe the most important step, is defining that you have a problem, because real sick people doesn't know that they have a problem. Real alcoholics doesn't know that they are alcoholics, or real narcissists, they don't know they are narcissists. So like that, you would realize you are not sick, you just have a bad habit. And you realize that. As an example, doctors should know what's wrong with the patient to cure that sickness. And after defining the problem, almost halfway is done, because starting is a huge step. You defined your bad habit, you defined your bad addiction, you defined that something you want to change to become the best version of yourself. And like that, first step is going to over. And second step is realizing that how much you want to change that habit, how much you want to be healthier, how much you want to become better version of yourself. You should define it to yourself first of all. How much you want to change that thing, be better in that thing. As an example from my life, I really wanted to change my body because I was not happy in my body, because I was fat, because I was overweight. And if you are overweight, for example, but it's okay for you, okay, that is not your problem, because you don't want to change it, because you feel healthy, because you feel happy with your weight, even though you are not defining yourself as a skinny person. That's okay, because you feel good that way, but I was not. I think firstly, to talk about weight loss or weight gain, the most important thing is that if a person is happy in their body, healthy in their body, and do whatever they want physically in that body, that's okay. That you shouldn't be worried. But if that person is not happy and doesn't feel healthy, can't do what they want physically, now that is a problem to you. You shouldn't care what people talk about it. Because if you are happy in that body, anyone doesn't have any right to talk about who you are or what you are. But you should decide what you want to be. If you are happy as you are, that's okay. But if you are not, welcome to my podcast again, because I am talking about and giving recommends to becoming the best version of yourself. So, let's move on to third step. You knew that something is not right. You decided to change it and you want it so bad. So bad. You want it so. You should get on and do something for that. Step 3. How to change that bad habit in a good way, sustainably, in a short time, happily, and healthily. You should find that. Okay? And for every person, it is different. For me, for example, it's changing my diet and go to nutritionist, for example, or it's reading books about something I want to change, or studying more to learn what I couldn't learn in past in my exams, for example. So everything is different for everyone. Okay, for example, I'm not telling you if you want to lose weight, you should do this diet, you should go to this gym, do this exercises, blah blah blah. No, I'm not saying that kind of thing and would never tell you, because every person is different. Find the most sustainable and would make you happy and healthy road to yourself in that problem. And please do not make excuses, because I did in the past, and you know, you would realize that they are just simple excuses to lose your goal. For example, I was like in my second week in my weight loss journey, and I was like, okay, that's enough. Maybe I shouldn't go to gym anymore. Okay, I can do home workouts, but I don't want to go to gym because there's a lot of people in there. They might be staring at me, and I'm so tired to go to gym 3 or 4 times in a week, so I should do something different. Maybe I should change my plan, blah blah blah. And I looked at the mirror and I told myself, you are just making excuses. You started. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 15 days, and you shouldn't make excuses, because even though you are not seeing big differences, you just need time. You just need 2 more weeks and it's gonna be 1 month. You are going to start to see the results. And you have a lot of tools. You can search best sustainable version to change that habit to you. You have a lot of things. You have AI tools, you have a lot of searching tools, you have a lot of sources to learn something. Come on, it's 2025. There's a lot of sources if you want to learn something or if you want to change a habit. The only problem is you are making excuses. That's it. If you want to learn something new to gain new habits, you can use internet. If you want to lose weight, you can use internet. If you want to change your bad habits, you can use internet. Not being able to change your bad habits is only your fault. It doesn't happen because you keep making excuses. If you stop making excuses and stay a little more determined, there's nothing you can't achieve. The more committed you are to your goal, the more determined you become. Do not forget this. And again, I am telling you again, even though it seems easy to tell this, I know, but you shouldn't listen what people are saying more than you think about yourself. And do not let people's thoughts and sayings change the way you think about yourself. Because you are yourself. You just have yourself. They're just a different person. You are just living yourself. You are just living your life. There is no more people that you are sharing life. You are sharing a body. Your body belongs only to you. No one else can use it. So, why do you let others control your mind? You are the only deciding tool. Do not let people manipulate you. Consciously or unconsciously, they are doing that. Do not buy bad things that people are telling about you, because if you buy them, you make them real. If a random person are saying you are bad at maths, for example, and if you buy that, you will be bad at maths. But if you do not buy that you are bad at mathematics and you believe yourself and study for your maths, you will see you'll be better. Imagine Einstein's mother fully believing he was bad at math. If she had accepted that, the world might never have known Einstein. And one more thing I want to tell you. Psychologically, people somehow love to put themselves down. They think making others feel good means sharing their pain or showing themselves as the one who's worse. But that's not true at all. If someone speaks negatively about themselves, you don't have to join them. I'm not saying you should respond like, you are bad, I am good, but please don't try to make yourself look worse, more innocent, or more broken just to fit the situation. Because you become what you speak. I experienced that a lot. I tell something about myself and I become that. Talking is a prayer. We can define it like that. Universe doesn't look if it's a prayer, if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. If you tell that, it will come to you. You may not notice that thing came to you. It might be some time later. But if you learn to see signs, I'll talk about it later. If you learn to see signs that comes from universe, if you learn to realize them, you will see what you are saying, what you are thinking, you are becoming. You are attracting those things to your life. And that is law of attraction. It's not a magical thing. I'm going to talk about deeply law of attraction in other episodes, maybe next episode, and how I attracted, even though sometimes bad things that I thought, that I told, attracted to myself. I'm going to talk about later. In life, remember that you are only yourself and shouldn't rely completely on anyone, not your parents, siblings, partner, or closest friend. Be very careful not to fully adopt someone else's words or thoughts as your own. I've seen people like an old best friend of mine who would never go against their mother and lived entirely by her rules and thoughts. She never had anything truly her own. Even from your closest ones, take their advice, but don't internalize it as your own truth. Otherwise, it won't be your truth. It will be theirs. And you will live like their thoughts, even though you are the only one in your body, in your brain. When trying to break a bad habit, don't forget to adopt a new positive habit. But don't cling to these new habits blindly. Never cling blindly to anything. That's the first step toward addiction. Even a harmless habit like reading, for example, can become a path to dependency if you overdo it. Do everything in moderation. Don't become a workaholic, a love addict, addicted to going out or shopping. Addiction can't be classified as good or bad. Don't be addicted to exercise, overeating, or undereating either. Be aware of your limits and set clear boundaries. If you cannot control something, change that habit as differently. For example, if your exercise routine is excessive and uncontrollable, change it. Go for walks outside instead of overdoing to the gym. Or, for example, if alcohol at outside is so much for you, drink it at home. For example, go and buy one bottle and tell yourself, I am only going to drink one bottle of this alcohol today, and that's it. Slowly try to set yourself limits, but do not try to take that bad habit in a day, for example, if you think that you are going to be harmed psychologically and physically. If you think that quitting is hard, transforming habits this way allows you to make much more meaningful progress. In summary, the first step is to clearly identify your bad habit. The second step is to realize that the more you want to break it, the more likely you are to succeed. Motivate yourself. Sit down and write what will change in your life if you overcome this habit. In every night, stand in front of the mirror and image, if I get rid of this habit, I will do this, I will do that. Third step, take action. As I said, completely changing overnight can be hard. Gradually and mindfully, replace the bad habit with control, and then with positive habits. Remember, eating one square of chocolate won't make you gain weight. But if you overeat and don't set your own limits, that's when problem arrives. Thank you so much for listening my third episode. My goal here as a psychology and journalism student in college is to help people by sharing my own experiences, reflections, and insights. I hope to make it easier to change your life and reach where you want to be. If you are curious about products I use, you can follow me on Pinterest, That Girl Vibes, in the link and description below. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe. My mail address is also in the description. Feel free to reach out whether you want to share something anonymously or openly. You can also leave a comment with your thoughts or suggestions. If there's a topic you'd like me to talk about or something you are currently struggling with, let me know in the comments or through email. I'd like to include in a future episode. Episodes are coming on every Sunday. So see you next Sunday. Take care of yourself. Bye.